Hey guys, what's up? Emo Cat Dad here, hanging out with you, bringing you yet another edition of Emo Cat Dad Listens. What I do is every day of 2024, I vow to check out a new band or artist. I check out 4 songs from across their discography, give you my initial thoughts on those songs, give you my ranking of the songs, and then of course my overall thoughts on the artist, based on what I just heard. And today is Sunday. Sunday night means ladies' night. I, your friendly neighborhood Emo Cat Dad, grew up going to Warped Tour. Warped Tour, not the super most inclusive touring festival around, so I vowed when I started doing this to make Sundays ladies' night, where I'll check out either a female artist or a band with at least one female in it. And that's what today is. As you can see right there, today's artist is Red Handed Denial. This was a kind suggestion from one of you nice viewers, so please keep those suggestions coming so I have more bands and artists to check out that I hadn't previously. So get in those comments now, leave me suggestions of bands or artists I absolutely need to check out. I would appreciate it oh so very much, so I can keep pumping these videos out because we're at the end of April, and that means I still have 8 months of this to go, so I need the help. So what do I know about Red Handed Denial going into this video? I heard one song like way back. I don't remember really anything about it. I remember it was like harder than I expected because my only other experience with Red Handed Denial was hearing the lead singer Lauren in a band with Jared Alonji, the YouTube pop punk vocalist guy, and Patty Walters, formerly of As It Is. I guess still technically in As It Is, but they're not a thing right now, so. And that was more of like a post-hardcore with like a little bit of pop punk styling in there. She did scream a little bit, but I remember hearing the song and being like, oh, this is like super heavy. I did not expect this. And that was about the end of my experience with Red Handed Denial, so I just never followed up on them in any way or form. So here we are in the year of our Lord 2024. Red Handed Denial's ratcheting it up for an album release next month, so we're going to tackle them right now. And lucky me, they have 3 current albums out, and they've released a couple singles from that upcoming album being released next month, so I'm going to check out one track from each of those, starting with their debut album released all the way back in 2013, called Stories of Old, and I checked out the track Oh Prophecy. Okay, so my first thought upon listening to this is the production isn't great, but it didn't really affect the vocals the way I thought it would. Like when it started, I was just like, oh, this is not very good production. But I really ended up enjoying everything, so I guess it ended up being kind of passable despite its rawness. I definitely prefer Lauren's cleans in this song to her uncleans. Not that that's a big surprise, because as a personal preference, I'm probably going to say that 99% of the time anyways. Apart from the cleans, the other thing I really dug in this track was the bridge. It was constructed well. There were some wheedly guitars in the background, which I usually laugh at. But this, just giving them time to shine in the bridge alongside the clean vocals, really enjoyed. Alright, they took several years to release their next album. In 2019, they came out with Redeemer, and I checked out Empire from that album. Okay, so the uncleans do sound a lot better here, so ignore the stuff I said about it must have been pretty good production after all the last one, because it clearly affected the uncleans, or Lauren became a much better vocalist with the uncleans in the 6 years that it took for this album to come out. The lyrics are pretty power metal-y on this track, which I guess is the same as the previous track. I just didn't run into it because it didn't sound as power metal-y. This one still doesn't sound very power metal-y, so I still kind of think it rules overall. But I'm kind of worried that they're going to fall too into the power metal lane on future tracks. Okay, so they seem to be a band releasing music at regular intervals now, because their next album came out in 2021, called I'd Rather Be Asleep, and I checked out the track Father Said. Okay, so again, no issues with the vocals whatsoever. I will say the clean vocals followed up by an unclean vocal repeating the last couple words did work for me at first, but ultimately it got a little bit too overused as the song progressed. But those cleans were the best cleans yet, They did tone down the power metal of it all, so I don't know if this is an outlier or they're starting to get away from that sound, but I guess we're going to find out on the next track, which is their most recent single, One More Night. Okay, so this opened up as a straight up pop song for the first like 30-35 seconds. I was like, oh, this is a complete 180 from what I've been hearing. It did then pick up and it became like, like the new age metalcore sound, a la Dayseeker, or perhaps more famously Bad Omens, where it still got the heaviness into it, but it leans heavily on the pop, which this Emo Cat Dad loves. I will say the lyrics were less exciting here. The other three did a good job of kind of, I don't want to say world building, but painting a lively picture of what was happening, even if it was a little too power metal-y at times. This one didn't have that, so that was a little disappointing, I guess. But hopefully this is just kind of a new sound for them that they're getting used to, and their lyrics will evolve over time. All right, so those are 4 tracks I checked out. Let's go ahead and rank them. At 1, One More Time. I just said it. This sounds like Dayseeker and Bad Omens, 2 bands I quite enjoy. So obviously I'm going to enjoy this track. The other ones had, the affinity to play in that power metal lane, something I don't have an affinity for, generally speaking. They switched lanes in this one and drove right into the lane I love. At 2, I'll go Father Said. I really like the clean vocals the most here, and really my only complaint was that the clean followed by the unclean repetition got old fast. It was as part of the chorus. I think it happened 4 times per chorus, so I probably heard it a total of 12 times. It's not going to ruin the entire song for me. I still really dug this track. At 3, we're going Oh Prophecy. This song mostly played with the clean vocals, which I did enjoy despite the rawness of it all. The uncleans were negatively affected due to the production, as I can now specifically point out based on these other tracks. And the bridge was just such a strong part of the song. That's what put it over the other track and into the 3rd spot. Which that other track, of course, at 4 is Empire. This was the most power metal-y song, so that probably played a role, honestly. But I said, I kind of think it rules still. So the fact that the song in 4th place, I kind of think it rules, says all you need to know about Red Handed Denial. Alright, so what are my overall thoughts on Red Handed Denial? Well, I've slept on this band way too long, clearly. When the number 4 track could be one that I kind of think it rules. That's pretty high praise, I think. That means there was no misses out of these 4 tracks. I'm really excited to see what the album sounds like. I don't think I'm going to go back and listen to the first single that they released off it. I think I'm going to just let that be surprised as part of the album. I feel like it's not going to be all songs that sound like One Last Night, which I'm fine with. They got to still mix in their previous sound for their current fan base. But I'm hoping that there's a lot like that on there and that I'm ultimately going to really enjoy it. Alright guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm your friendly neighborhood Emo Cat Dad. I appreciate you making it to the very end of this video. Like I said, please leave me some band and artist suggestions in the comments. Let me know. Maybe they're female artists, or maybe it's a band with female in it. Leave those so I can do them on a future ladies' night, or just leave me any band or artist. Maybe there's a rapper you really like, or a rock band that's blowing up. Maybe it's an alternative indie artist that you just discovered on Spotify playlist, and you're like, everyone needs to check this out, including you, Emo Cat Dad. Leave it down there. And give me your thoughts on Red Handed Denial. Have you ever checked out this band before? Are you going to listen to the new album next month when it drops? But most importantly, I want you to stick around for this ride. So, if you're new here and you left me a suggestion, please, please, please hit that subscribe button. If you're still new here and you don't want to leave me a suggestion, that's fine. Then maybe you could just do me this one other thing and cut my wrist and hit subscribe. Emo Cat Dad signing off for now, but until tomorrow, I want to hear you sad.